It was a Friday afternoon and I was here in my backyard. I decided that I would mow the lawn. It was a beautiful day, and as I was out in the backyard mowing the lawn, enjoying the exercise, the lawnmower started to sputter and then it conked out. It ran out of fuel. And that was okay. I knew where the petrol was, and so I went to the garage, found the tin marked petrol, took it out the back, and as I was doing this, my phone rang. And I looked at the caller ID, and it was somebody that I knew, and I thought, I'll answer this call just so that I can tell them what I'm doing, because I knew they'd ask. Oh, hi, Charissa, how are you? What are you doing? I said, I'm well, I'm actually mowing the lawn. Oh, they were impressed. And I said, actually, I'm refilling it with fuel because it's just run out. Oh, they were even more impressed, and I was happy with that. And they had some questions to ask me, and I answered them, hung up on the call. And after I finished putting the fuel in the mower, primed it and went to start it again, and it didn't start. And I realized then at that moment when I checked the tin that I had put the wrong fuel in the lawnmower. This was our brand new lawnmower because someone, it could have been me, had wrecked the previous lawnmower because we'd put the wrong fuel in it. And so I thought, oh no, I've got to try and get the fuel out. And as I was doing this, my phone rang again. I answered this phone call, and the news that I received on the other end of this phone call was something I hadn't seen coming, did not expect. People that I had trusted, some of those that were closest to me had betrayed me. I felt like my whole world shattered. We chatted for 2 hours, and when I hung up on the call, I looked up at the sky and the clouds had come over. I looked in front of me and there was the broken lawnmower, and I just thought, oh, my whole day has gone from great to terrible. And I prayed and I said, Lord, if you could fix this lawnmower, then I know that you could fix this problem now that I was facing. And so I put the right fuel in and primed it and tried to start the mower, and nothing happened. And I thought, well, maybe this is a metaphor for my life. Maybe God isn't able to help me with this new problem that I was facing. Then I'm just going to have to deal with a whole lot of hurt and pain and face broken relationships on my own. The next day I was with friends and putting on a happy face, but really in my heart, I wasn't happy to be around them. I didn't want to be with anybody. I just felt so terrible inside. So I came home, it was a Saturday night, and I was texting one of my friends, and as I was texting them, it turned out that they knew exactly what the problem was and that they had known this was coming for a while. Then I now was really angry. Now I was angry at my friend, I was angry at all those people that had hurt me. God would have known that this was going to happen to me, and I couldn't understand why he would have allowed it to happen. Surely he would have seen it coming. And I started to rehearse in my mind the things that I wanted to say to them, the speeches that I would give them when I did see them. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I was still rehearsing these speeches, these things that I wanted to tell them. I was so angry. And I went out of my room, came back, it hit me, and it was, Charissa, here you are angry at people who don't even realize how they have hurt you, how much you are hurting because of this. And you're driving yourself sick. Look at you, you're a mess. And I thought, yeah, it's true. So I came and I knelt down beside my bed and I prayed again. And this was a very different kind of prayer. This wasn't just repeating words. This was speaking words from my heart. And I needed God to hear what I had to say. I needed to know that he was listening to me, that he was aware of what I was going through. And so I prayed again and I told him everything. I told him how I felt. I told him about what had happened, even though God already knows everything. So I finally got it all off my chest, and I just knelt there in quietness. And I heard this still small voice speak to me, and I believe it was the voice of God, because he said, Charissa, just trust me. And I can't explain it to you, but I actually felt this peace just come over me. I climbed back into bed and I managed to sleep the rest of the night, which was, to me, a real miracle. I woke up the next morning and I made some phone calls to the people that I felt had hurt me, and we chatted. The facts of what had happened still remained. The problem didn't disappear, but somehow God worked in that situation and our relationships were restored, and He turned it around for good, if I could put it that way. Later that week, my mum said, we better get this lawnmower fixed. And so I went into the backyard and found it. And I remembered the prayer that I had prayed, Lord, if you could fix the lawnmower, then I know you could fix this situation as well. And here it was, still broken, but the situation, God had started to bring good out of it. And so I thought, I'll give it another go. And so I tried to start the lawnmower, and this time it kicked over. I discovered that peace is not the absence of trouble, it's the presence of God in my life. And this means that He doesn't have to take away the storms, but He can actually help me weather the storms of life because He's with me. Prayer is me talking to God and telling Him my thoughts, my feelings, and telling Him about my life as though I would talk to my dearest and best friend. I also discovered from this experience that prayer is a two-way conversation. Not only do I talk to Him, but He talks to me when I am still and I listen to His voice as well.